What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Survive the Fall. We had an opportunity to take a look at this game about a year and a half ago, I guess was the last time I played it. And to be fair, they have been sending me updated demos for this game during that time period, but I don't really like to cover demos more than once if I can help it. I usually like to do like one coverage of the demo and then wait till the 1.0 or the early access comes out and then we can recover it. Well, this time around, this is actually the release client for the game. They fired it over this morning, and so we're going to be taking a look at it. I've played for about 2.5 hours prior to the recording of this video. I do have some thoughts about this little post-apocalyptic RPG, but we'll save that for the end of the video. Instead, we'll just dive on in, but if you haven't seen this game before, it's wearing a lot of hats. This is a game that's trying to do a lot of things. The best way that I can possibly cross-section it out for you is that it reminds me of, like, State of Decay had a baby with a party-based CRPG, which then had a baby with RimWorld. There's a lot of things going on inside this game. You're going to be like managing your base, you're going to be doing a lot of crafting, you're going to be automating employees while they go around and do stuff, but also each and every one of those employees can go out on night excursions to go raid the landscape to find things that you need, fight with cultists and raiders, and generally try to keep your head above water for another day. I'm going to be playing it for about 30 minutes. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, you can also take a look down there and find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links. But let's dive on in to Survive the Fall. So this is where you're going to be spending a bunch of time in Survive the Fall. I've started us out inside the base so that you can see the base building portion of all of this. But basically you start out in a very ruined area that's covered with all kinds of like radioactive mushrooms and stuff like that. You've got to clear it on out and you've got to build up your buildings. Your buildings are modular and can have facilities inside of them. The busy chunk of icons that you see over on this side, every single one of these is what one of your workstations or what one of your areas can do for you. You can do everything from, manufacture weapons and create supplemental items that will help you while you're exploring the map. Things like lockpicks, fireman's axes, all that kind of stuff so that you can get into loot. You can make medicines over here. You can do all kinds of stuff. The game comes blessed with quite a large tech tree. There's a lot of stuff to unlock in this game as you get further and further down on into it. So I'm guessing, given the enormous footprint that they've given you to build on, you're going to fill all this space with stuff and employees that can all be going out and doing stuff. On top of that, all of your characters have different stats and skills and things that they do that will allow them to be better at certain tasks than others. So, for example, in order to get these technology points right here, I have to research random things from before the fall. I've got one of my employees doing it right now. You've got to find like guidebooks and books on horticulture and books on engineering and stuff like that. And if you bring them back to the research center, every single one of those has a number of research points baked into it once you finish reading it that you can then spend getting stuff to make you more successful while you're out at night raiding with the enemy. On top of that, this is also going to be the place where you satisfy things like people's sleep needs, their wounds, their hunger, how infected they are. There's contamination on the planet in this. I don't know if there's zombies or anything else like that, but the planet is definitely contaminated and you don't want to be contaminated. So having a good way to get rid of that is a solid idea. As it stands right now, I've just got one of my characters doing research. That way I can get some research points. I've got one guy cooking up enough meals to last us for another 2 or 3 days from a bunch of, I think I found a bunch of clear, purified water while I was on my last raid, which was the one thing that I was missing to make a stew that'll last for like 3 or 4 days. A lot of this stuff is automated, so you can set it up so that they sleep when they need to sleep, they eat when they need to eat, all that kind of stuff. Most of these people are going to sleep at night while our away team is out gathering things, but for right now there's not really a whole lot to show you here aside from the generalized UI and the base building portion of the game where I'm doing like fundamental rudimentary tasks right now in order to get myself ready to go back outside the walls. You do have a time clock up in the top right-hand corner. This needle, it's going to go all the way over to here, and when it gets over to here, the day is over, and that's when we'll be able to set up our raid and go into several open-world maps where there's a bunch of little, like, storyline teasers out there. There's main objectives, there's side objectives, there's also optional locations for you to explore and find stuff inside of. It's up to you. This game is very much like a play-at-your-own-pace kind of game. It's not really going to, at least in my 2 or 3 hours, it hasn't pushed me forward super hard to like focus on the main quest, even though it seems like it's severe. Right now, one of our people was kidnapped. The opening of this game is your village being destroyed by cultists that worship fire, and this is you kind of going through the rebuilding process, finding all of your people out in the wasteland, whether or not they've been sold into servitude or whether they've been eaten or whatever else, and then from there getting some payback against the cultists. For now, there's not really too much for us to do here today, aside from the point that we need to do some research. We don't have access to, like, faction researches up here because I haven't made friends with all the factions yet. There is a factions menu over here that basically tells you where you're at with all of these factions, either met or unmet, that exist throughout the world. I'm very hostile with the Sighted. Those are the guys that worship the sun and, like, cut on themselves like reavers and just act like animals. And then the Shroomers over here are, like, botanists, basically. They think that we should live in tune with the corruption and like we should incorporate it. So they know a lot of stuff about like mutation and like radiation and all that kind of stuff. So we might get some interesting bonuses out of them. But let's go ahead and end the day for now because there's not too much left for me to do. We're going to have people sleep in the bed, sleep on the ground, and I think we can really only take these two guys out with us, so we'll go ahead and prep to go to the national park for right now. I am going to bring extra stuff with me while I'm in the neighborhood. I don't know where all their equipment went. They had equipment on before. Let me just go ahead and equip them up real fast. We'll throw a backpack on everybody. I think he had a shotgun before. I don't remember who had what the last time I went out on excursion, but it unequipped all my equipment for some reason. It never did that when I was playing earlier, so that must be some kind of bug or storyline thing or something that occurred while we were out here. Give him the makeshift ammo. That sounds good. He gets the makeshift shotgun shells. That'll also be good. I would say give him a med kit just in case we end up needing it. And then I would say also... Actually, I don't really have any other things that I can take with me, so that's fine. And then inside of our backpacks, I would suggest that we bring along a couple of supplementary things to help us in the field. So we've got a machete, we've got a pickaxe for finding ore, we've got a lockpick just in case we find a locked crate or anything else like that that might be a little bit of a hassle. I need you to, put on your shotgun shells. I don't know why those are still in the inventory. I must have clicked the wrong button. And now that we are all ready to rock, let's go on expedition, shall we? Alright, so here we are on Expedition. One thing that's kind of interesting about this game compared to a lot of the other CRPGs and survival games out there is that this game is entirely real-time. I attack enemies by left-clicking and then I hit them with a machete. If I want to shoot at them, I hold down the right-click and I can gat at them. It does kind of have like a VAT-style system where you can assign your guys to do various tasks out here and like tell them what you want them to focus on in combat, but I feel like when it comes to post-apocalyptic games, almost always they're turn-based. And so in the case of that game, or this game, that's something that makes it different. Aside from like Death Trash and one or two others, a real-time survival RPG that's party-based, kind of a rarity out here in the general world. But on the map right now, we have a storyline that I'm trying to chase down. So on the map, there was a camp of cultists over here. I wiped them all out. This was the group that attacked our base at the beginning of the game in the opening cutscene. They kidnapped a whole bunch of our people. One of our people is over here, but she's been infected by radiation or something in the wasteland, so I need to go down to this marker right here and get the medicine that will allow the druid to fix her. And so that's kind of where we're going. But the game is open world. There's multiple maps. So I think there's 3 or 4 maps when you go on expedition, and they're all just kind of open like this. You sort of just do whatever you want on the map, sort of Gloria Victis siege survival style. I think we should probably check this building right here. I think that's a good idea. One nice feature that I do like about this game is that you can assign your people to scavenge stuff that you don't have time to scavenge because you're working on scavenging other things. And so every single one of your WASD keys, if you have a full 4-man party, you can use them to just send people around and grab stuff for you. This does speed up the looting process, which means that you're not sitting around looking at progress bars a lot while you're looting and going through like large installations and locations that need to be cleaned out. Just loot something, bro. We got furniture, we got items inside of here. There's a box over there, but it's inside the fart gas. There is a note for research data. There's also, so these little CDs over here, it's basically a conceptualization of the idea that anything from the old world has value and it's money. Use it for trading. So CDs, MP3 players, that kind of stuff. It's all used for trading. I'm going to loot this real quick. I queued him up to loot all of those. And hopefully we don't run into too much combat right now because I don't know if you noticed my UI, but ooh, food, nice. Food's always good. Food's kind of hard to produce in the early game, so anytime you find like a free food, it makes your life better. But bottom right-hand corner, you can see the loadout and equipment. You can swap in between these characters depending on what tools you need. There's a lot of environmental interaction in this game. An example that I would give you is that, like, the cultists like to suspend their loot by ropes hanging from the ceiling and whatnot, and you have to have a gun or a bow to shoot the rope so that it falls down, you get loot. There will be weak walls in some facilities that you can hack down with a axe. There will be sheet metal sections of fences and things that you can tear down with a crowbar. Kind of depends, but lots and lots of environmental interactions that I've found to actually be pretty entertaining. I do want that. It looks like I can loot it without going into the fart gas, just barely. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We got 10 bullets. Nice. That's actually really fantastic. That's going to help out a ton. And they're high-tier bullets. They're not the crappy makeshift bullets that we made in our garage. They're actual tooled, manufactured bullets that would have been used for military purposes. So that's very, very nice. What is this right here? Stasis sample. Go ahead and grab that while we're in the neighborhood, and then we'll cut a little bit south. I get the feeling we're not going to be able to loot this stuff that we need without any opposition, but we'll see what happens. There's no time limit on being out here in the world. There's no clock running or anything else like that. Oh, I just need the samples from here? I thought I had to go further south. Okay. Yeah, let's cut out to the east then, because I think I've mostly hit everything over here. Different characters do have different skills, as I mentioned earlier. Some characters are faster at looting. Some are faster at applying med kits and bandages. Things like that. Everybody's got different stuff that they're good at when they're on away missions. So what is this? A lot of stasis here. Let's check the huge building in front of us. Shoot the chain. You can't shoot it from the front. All right, so we got to go through the back. I've already got 2 out of my 3 samples, so I'm not really that worried about it. But let's get in here and grab what we can. Clean water. That's really helpful. You need clean water for any type of cooking in this game. So, ooh, some creatures have the stasis up front. Where are they at? Let's go into stealth mode. This game does have a stealth system. The stealth system is rudimentary. It works, but it's rudimentary enough that you can kind of like trick it into behaving in ways that it probably shouldn't behave. Aw, dude. We got zombies coming in on us. All right, smoke them. Let's go. Everybody swing a weapon. Everybody get in here and take them out. Got one zombie. You okay over here, brother? How you looking? Yep, just stay away from them. Don't take too much damage. I also don't want to expend too many bullets, so I'm not going to try. Combat feels kind of wonky. It's got like a weird feel to it, but once again, you'll get used to it. In all ways, I would treat this game kind of like a Piranha Bytes game. There is a solid layer of jank and wonk inside this title, and I think some people will really, really like that about it, and other people will be like, I want a lot more polish in my title. But we just fought off the zombies, so we should be okay for right now. We've got some research documents over here. That will be helpful. I just need to find 1 or 2 more mushrooms out here, too. So I need to wait for my perception checks to, like, notice that there's mushrooms around. I think that one counts right there. We'll approach it from the backside. It looks like there's also a wood pile over here that I could potentially harvest off of. I don't really need that much wood in order to make things work. Let's throw out the rubble. Rubble's always useless, dude. It's the apocalypse. I have like an endless supply of rubble. I have so much of it. If I swap to this guy, this is one of the environmental interactions I was talking about. You can break stuff in order to convert it into materials if you wanted to do so. Looks like there's items inside of here, so we might as well assign him to go after it. And then I'll scavenge these over here, and we'll just kind of like see what's available to us. It looks like we got a brick, and it looks like we got a wire. All right. Oh, we got arrows. That's why. I don't really care about the arrows all that much. I'll probably leave it alone. And now we need to go back and we need to more stasis samples. Grab those just in case we need more of them later. We can trade stasis samples when we get back to base in order to get infection off of our characters. But I want to go rescue our character first over here that's been captured by the cult. Already killed the cult. She's just like laying in a bed right now waiting for me to arrive with the herbs. Actually, it looks like we're in this one to win this one. I have to go open the gate in order for the quest to advance. So instead of just going back and dropping off the medicinal herbs, let's carry on into this place. I need a machete for that. I can swap that out real quick. Put a machete on him. All right, got that taken care of. Another sample right there, but it's empty. Inside of here, it's hard to say if there's anything of use, but our inventory's full anyways, so even if there is something of use, I think we're going to have to come back for it later. You do have a very, very limited inventory size in this game for picking stuff up off the scavenging map. That's materials right there. I need to shoot the gate open. It actually looks like there's boxes in front of the door, and I've got to hack it down with an axe, so we'll go ahead and do that. There we go. Now we have a clear line of sight. Who has my rifle? There we go. Gate's open. All right. Luckily, that noise didn't bring anything down on top of us, so, like, let's head back around. I'll loot this at a different time. Like, maybe we'll come back on the next run after another day or so and see what we can get out of here. I need some bigger backpacks, and it looks like I actually need to remember to bring a torch with me, too, because it looks like a lot of these walls can be burned down in order to get after more loot. Into the courtyard we go. Let's get low in case there's bad guys over here. The hell is that thing? Before you was a mysterious totem shimmering in the stasis fog. It was probably left here by the shroomers. The longer you stare at it, the more the totem seems to want to tell you something. Alright, I'll answer the call. The totem demands a sacrifice. It needs to absorb 4 doses of stasis energy to grant regeneration and a boost of vitality to those brave enough to speak with it. Will you accept the offer? I don't have the offering right now, so unfortunately, that's not going to be a good thing for us. But I will put my teammate on that over there, and I'll grab this one. Is he stuck right now, dude? My characters get stuck from time to time in this game, and so I don't know where my other teammate is. He's over here. I guess he just didn't follow up with me. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. Grab all the samples over here because I guess it's a sample type run. And once we have enough samples to finish off the mission, which I think we already do, but I might as well grab these while I'm over here. Oh, there's like a little military tent back here. Wonder if there's bullets inside of it. Let's see. What's inside the tent? Anything good? I mean, it's got itself like a digital camo thing going on, so I'm like, maybe there'd be something good in there. There is a decontamination kit. It is a set of cleansing reagents. It will remove 40% of your contamination. That's probably better than the big pile of weed crack that I have in my backpack. I'm coming back for this stuff anyways. Let's head back on over to Blooper, and we'll see if we can get our party member healed. That way, I have 3 people going places with me instead of 2. There's still a bunch of loot left inside this cult base over here that I wiped out too. Like, there's a ton of it, but like, I never have the backpack space to carry it all. Let's get up in here and we'll see if we can help out with this illness situation. I think she was inside of here. Yeah, let's swing around the backside and see what we can do. Incomprehensible gibberish. You're still alive, huh? Amazing. And you have the mushrooms. I only need 3. The rest you can keep. Okay, here. What a fine specimen you found. All right, my fingers are crossed and my skills have become a little bit rusty. That's not funny. Stand aside and let me work. Is it working? Is she gonna live? I don't want to be like a backseat doctor right here, but like, is it gonna work out? Moans painfully. Liz, you all right? Never better. Are the bastards still around? I'm sick of this place. We killed all the hostiles. Can you walk? I'm still feeling dizzy. You go to the base. I'll be right behind you. Don't worry, I won't get caught a second time. And thank this guy for saving my butt. I owe him. All right, back to base with you, if it's still there. You eliminated a lot of cultists, but there's more of them. We need to fortify our spot. Their attack is imminent. Okay. I will keep that in mind then. Oh, I've got a key to a door back here? I didn't even know I had a key to that door. I knew I picked up a key at some point, but like, hadn't really done anything with it. I need to bring some ropes with me too. It looks like there's loot all over the place, like up in the rafters of some of these areas. We'll call that our first day of scavenging, and the nice thing is there's fast travel in this game, so you can just click right here and it'll take us back to camp. It's for us to manage everything. So not too bad of a day. We're a little bit contaminated. We've got a little bit of tiredness going on. Not too many injuries though, so I think we'll be all right there. All of our loot is going to go into the communal stockpile. We'll walk back into the camp. And now we got to decide what we want to do with the rest of our day. I would suggest that we have Dan go sleep, And we probably want Zach to go sleep too, since they both didn't sleep last night. Like, his meter is not yellow yet, but it's got to be getting close. Oh, he's at 13%? That's not quite as terrible as I thought it was going to be. Today, what we need to do is we need to spend some of our research to get some new buildings. So I've got a lab, and I can get chemical lab level 1. I think that's a good idea because I've got lots of medical stuff around that I just have no use for. I think it's a good idea for us to get a farm. I think that's a really solid idea. And then if we get like drying racks, that way we can process animal carcasses, because while we were scavenging last mission, in between the edits, I saw a field of wolves that I could potentially take down. We've also got a storage hut right there. So a fantastic day for making sure we've got enough food to make it through the winter without our tummies getting grumbly. Let's build some buildings. All right, what do you got for me? So we have a farm out here. Is there like better ground for a farm, or does it not really matter? Either way, let's build our lab. I'll probably put that over here on the other side of this road. How does it line up with that right there? I need everything to be like somewhat symmetrical. I don't have guidelines or anything to work with. We'll have her build one right there. And then next door to that, we'll probably build the plant. Oh, I don't have enough rubble for the plant. I turned my nose up at rubble, and apparently I now need rubble. Is there any harvestable rubble around here? There's some buildings over here that I can scavenge. I suppose I'll send Rusty and Bubba to go do it. Like, tear these down. Okay, they did an okay job tearing down the building right there, but now I'm a little bit bummed out because I needed to talk to Blooper one more time before it sends that girl back to camp, and I needed a third scavenger. So this is kind of like a messed up situation right now. Not super happy with it. I don't know why I needed to talk to Blooper one more time after she said she was going back to the base. But I guess I gotta talk to Blooper before she heads back on over here. I do need to repair some weapons, so I'll probably set somebody else up to do that. These guys are dropping off their resources inside the stockpile right now. I also think I have research materials that we brought back last time that'll give me a few more points, but I think everybody's busy right now. Bubba, go do my research. If there's one thing I know, it's that you always entrust delicate scientific research to a guy named Bubba in a trucker hat. That's the best person to ask. He's going to give you all kinds of redneck genius. Rusty's ready to rock over here. With Rusty, I would like for him to start repairing weapons. Fix that, and fix that. Get those all fixed. And I like how easy it is to repair stuff in this game. It's really not that much of a headache. She's almost done with the lab over on this side, and we'll kind of see how that affects our playthrough. I think we're just going to use it mostly to manufacture drugs out of all the herbs and things that we're finding, so like aspirin, pills, things that make our health come back. He should get a big chunk of his health back after he gets done sleeping. You get plus 40 health for sleeping in a bed. I would also say that if we've got somebody that's not doing anything right now, which we don't, I'd like to have another set of bunk beds over here. That way 4 people can sleep at once. Lab's done, so that means we can probably build lab buildings now. Yeah, we've got a chemical lab, but we need more plastic and we need more rubble before that's going to work out for us. I will probably assign... How many planks do I have? I got 5 planks. Assign him over here. I don't want you to repair weapons. I want you to saw planks for the rest of the day. Get in here. I can make a stone for throwing to grab people's attention while we're out on missions, just in case you want to be stealthy. Go ahead and give me like 10 planks while you're over there. Just make that happen. And then I guess Jen, come over to the general rubble pile and just grab what you can from over here. They should auto-eat, so I think Dan and Zach should just feed themselves all on their own volition. I don't think I need to take care of that, because I did set it up so that our daily scheduling makes them just, like, feed themselves. Yeah, he's eating down here. Okay, good. That's what I like to see, because I'm going to assign them to come grab some more plastics over here as well once they're done eating. So Dan, come over here and scavenge for plastics. I doubt we're going to be able to scavenge enough plastics and rubble to finish off the lab today. We'll probably have to do it tomorrow. But it's something for people to do while I put the game on fast forward, you know? Research is done, so we can jump into our tech tree now. We can make some new things. I would say let's unlock ropes. Let's unlock a lumber mill. Let's unlock rubble collectors. Okay. Yeah, get the rubble collector. And I think that's all we can do for the moment. I do need another... What is it going to take me in order to build the farm? I need more rubble. Okay. Food is going to become a problem as we get further into this playthrough. I've, like, been barely staying ahead of it. I have, like, 15 foods right now, which should be enough to last us 2 or 3 days. But if I don't find a source of food before that runs out, people are going to start getting real hungry. other stuff that I can potentially craft right now, I do think it's a good idea to maybe get like a couple of ropes. That way we can get to all those climbing spots on the map. I need to start bringing more stuff with me that's going to help me out on these in-between tasks. But the day's almost over, so we're going to be out and scavenging pretty soon anyways. Okay, we got some stuff done. Everybody's fed. We did some minor manufacturing, so I think it's time for us to head back on out into the greater wide world. Bubba's good at cooking, but I don't know if I have the stuff to cook what I want to cook. I need firewood in order to cook more meals, and so unfortunately, won't be able to do that right now, but even like a 10 stack of food would keep us going for another couple days. The day has ended. It's time to raid. Alright, I've got all my supplementary items over here. Lockpicks, pickaxes, you know, torches, that kind of stuff, ropes. That way I can climb around. Let's go back and talk to Blooper real quick, and then we'll try to, like, explore and see what we can find in this area. Blooper, my man, thanks for your help. You saved Liz, and you saved me from maniacs. I guess we're even. What are we gonna do now? I'll head back to my place. They probably noticed that I'm missing. Come with us. We need valuable people. I admit I begin to like your little group, but I've got to return to my people. There's more of you? Oh yeah, drop by one day. See our spot. Learn our ways. It'll be fun. Where is it? The home of all shroomers, Mycorrhiza. All right, we'll meet one day. Good stuff. There was a rope spot back here, so like I'm trying to loot all this. We've got dirty water, right? I guess I'll take the dirty water. And then back here, there was a rope spot that I could put people on. Yeah, put that right up there. And then I'll just scavenge this for a minute while I wait for you to hang up the rope. A little bit more wire never hurts. So now that we have a rope, we can climb up here. And there's items up here. Who doesn't love free items? Let's get them. So we got ourselves a textbook. We got a safety rope used by climbers. Speeds up interactions of setting up the rope and climbing for the whole team. Okay, I can do that, and a little bit of money too. I can live with all that. Next up, there was something on the plane wing that I saw. If I can get on top of this wing over here, it looked like there was boxes on top of the plane that I had potentially missed the last time I came through here. Most of the containers you're seeing down there, I've already gone through, and I've already like rifled through them. They're just like full of rubble and whatnot. But there was a building over on this side that if you have an axe, or no, a crowbar, we can get into this building over here. So I'd like to do that. Let's take that off. We'll put on our crowbar. There we go. You grab the plastic. I'll grab the scrap metal. And then over here, get the chemicals. Hey, a food box. Hell yeah. I do need to harvest some wood for firewood. That way I can cook up some more meals too. More dirty water. Okay. Dirty water, fibers, and money. You go ahead and get that wood right there. I will take my axe out. Every now and again, the UI likes to bug out on you when you're trying to swap things up. There we go. Grab the wood. All right, so we've got some things. We got like a little bit of firewood going for us right now, too. Let's head back out. Is that rubble right there? What is that? Oh, it's just a trash pile? Okay. A little bit of clean water inside that pile over there, which isn't bad, but nothing to write home about that's going to be too crazy. You're going to spend a lot of... Oh, I got a penknife, I guess. A small blade that can be easily carried. You get a speed bonus to picking up food and mushrooms in the wild when you put this in an accessory slot. Yeah, that sounds good. I could do that. That sounds all right. This guy actually has a built-in knife that I can't take off of him, so I guess he doesn't need the pocket knife. Instead, we'll get a safety rope. That way we deploy ropes a little bit faster. And then from there, break this down real quick. I do need plastics, actually, weirdly enough. I need, like, a lot of plastics. Spread out and loot faster, bro. What do we get? A little bit of wood, a little bit of plastic. That works for me. We're low on plastic, so I'm, like, cool with the plastic acquisition. Oh, he got a full-on plank from over there. Hell yeah. Okay. A little bit of chemicals. I don't think we need it right now, but I will pick up the scrap metal over on this side. But what I really wanted to bring home with us is there's animals you can hunt and whatnot. I saw a wolf pack over on this side, and I feel like if we take them down, we should get a decent amount of meat to go with that drying rack that we just unlocked. I'm gonna chop down a tree, I guess, but like, I don't know if I want to spend time on it. Get inside the bushes, that way we're clear. One, two, 3. There is active time reloads in this game as well, in case you were wondering. So it's got like the little Gears of War reloading where if you time it right, you get all the stuff. Let's loot these bodies real quick. We got beat up a little bit on that one, but that's the way she goes sometimes. Grab that. Assign him to go grab that one. If I can get like 5 or 6 animal carcasses to take back to base, I'm pretty sure I will be the hero of the day because I will have supplied us with food for quite a while. Then from there, all that we really got to do is we're going to have to boil off all the stuff that's dirty, like the dirty water and whatnot. There's a note over here. John, I had to run, but I managed to hide our things. If you ever read this, know that the resources are hidden in the rocks next to the destroyed bridge over the river. I hope you get them back. Okay. I think we're full up on our inventory right now, so I don't want to go too nuts with the scavenging and just leave stuff laying around that I don't remember. So let's go back to camp real quick now that we've got our pockets all nice and full. If I could find another backpack and get another character, we'd be able to carry quite a bit more. Right now, for this little chunk, the duration of the game that I've played, my inventory runs out quick. From now on, there's a chance your camp will be attacked at night. Research the dedicated technology and rebuild the main gate. And you can assign a character as Night Watch. In the future, the gate will require improvements to allow more settlers to settle inside of the base. On the plus side, we now have Liz, so that's good. It's good to be home again. I can see you've been busy bees while I was away. Starting to look like a camp again out here, but I got bad news. From what I heard in captivity, the Sighted are planning another attack very soon, and this time we need to be prepared. Okay. So the gate is over here. I have the stuff for the gate, so let's put somebody. She's injured right now. That's fine. Treat your injuries with a med kit. Liz. Yeah, get yourself patched up. I need someone to come over here and do my research so that I can get a few more points. So there we go. Approve the research. After that, I think what I'd like to do, I would like to search that pile right there, but like whoever does it is going to get infected, and then I'm going to have to use resources to get rid of it. How much? So I have everything that I need, right? I do have everything that I need in order to repair the gate. Where's the technology at? I just need 3 points. That's it. Just 3 points and we'll be good to go. Can I make firewood? Make firewood for me. Make like... Yeah, make like 20 firewood. I need to cook up some food today. I think we have the stuff to cook up food, but now with the gate being... Oh, he's like partially contaminated too, huh? Okay. We will have Dan decontaminate himself with the decontaminator machine that we found out on the away mission. But this is an interesting little RPG. I'll be honest with you. My closing thoughts about it are it's a pretty in-depth game that has a lot of supply chains and things for you to play around with. It's got a big open world that's full of interactions and ways that you can get from point A to point B. It has exploration that's very rewarding. The more you look around, the more stuff you will find while playing through this title. And so... it has a lot of good attributes to it, but my observation about the game right now is that it has a very busy UI with all of these buttons and whatnot that tend to overlap each other depending on what zoom level you're at. From there, I have had a number of bugs while playing the game, from characters getting stuck behind things and me having to like swap to them constantly to get them unstuck. The pathfinding definitely needs a little bit of work from there. It's got wonky combat. It's got like a wonky stealth system. And that is layered on top of like this massive, rewarding, explorable world. And so it's really going to be up to you whether or not this is the kind of thing that you want to go after. Who's eating right now? Why does it say somebody's tied up eating? Is it just bugged? Nobody's over here eating from what I can tell. Huh. Yeah, I think it was bugged because we transitioned out of the day and it didn't remember to resume the task when we came back down here. I think we are officially out of rations, but I should be able to cook up like a huge batch once we get everything set up. You can also do feasts. I haven't done one yet, but you can do a thing called a feast, and everybody will come and eat out of a communal pot over here if you have the resources for it, and it feeds up to 12 people, and so it's like a safer way of getting your people fed. I have no idea why this button down here is being weird. I have no clue. It's being odd. Eventually, somebody's going to have to come over here and eat, and I assume that'll pop it loose. It always has in the past. Research is done, so that means we can go to the tech tree now, and we can grab the repaired gate schematic. Perfect. I would like to be able to build armor. That sounds like something we're probably going to need when we go out into the wilderness. And it looks like I've unlocked some new weapons and stuff, too. I got to wait for him to get off that crafting bench before I can look and see what we actually got. But, actually, no, cancel that. I don't want him to do it because he's going out scavenging tonight. Have Bubba do it. There you go. Fix the gate, Bubba. I believe in you. One nice little UI feature they have is if you mouse over these on the timeline, it'll tell you how long it's going to take him to build that up. I really, really liked that feature. I thought that was a nice thing for planning your day and figuring out what the hell it is you're supposed to do. But my closing thoughts about this game are that there are definitely compelling aspects to this title that would make me play it. I'm a big Piranha Bytes fan, so I don't mind a little bit of wonk and jank inside of my game. However, some of that wonk and jank will turn into bugs that you have to like load a save because of. And so for people that get really agitated by bugs or weird janky things happening, maybe wait for it to polish out a little bit further. However, if you're used to games that have like a nice nougaty center, but the outside chocolate is a little bit crusty, I'm sure you'll have a good time with this game. It's unique, it's interesting. Not all aspects of it are, you know, incredibly well done, but there's enough to like here that I would give it a shot despite the flaws. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for stopping on in, and this was Survive the Fall. Bye, folks.